Are you serious? Are you serious, man? That is some really GetTheT.com. Oh, yeah. Guys, let me break in for a minute. President Trump's getting ready to reverse net neutrality, but I just want to say, I want to thank our good friend Ronnie at GetTheT.com. Great tea he has. And check it out. Just go to his website at GetTheT.com. All right, the Trump administration plans to scrap President Obama's net neutrality. Oh, thank God, because I remember before the net neutrality, it has to do a lot with cable companies and how much they can charge for fast internet access. People will be trying to get access to faster internet, what have you, and selling pieces of their broadband off, okay? Now, but also it was more than that. There was a lot of censorship that Obama brought to the internet when he put in net neutrality. One of the things he did was, I know this, I've been on doing current world events now for almost 8 years, and I can tell you that if there was a breaking news story, if I got out there pretty quick as one of the first 2 or 3 people to report it, then I would land on the front page of Google, and I would be in the 1, 2, or 3 spot, let's say. Now, when the other big boys finally got around to catching up with the story, when ABC News and CNN and everybody else, they didn't get to bump me down. They had to take the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th position on Google, or they had to go into the 2nd page or the 3rd page. Just because it was a first come, first serve, you out there first, you're up on it first, okay? But when net neutrality came in, that changed. It guaranteed that all of the big news agencies would get their top spots. And it didn't matter. I could be first with the story. I might wind up at the first spot on Google. But as soon as the rest of the big boys jumped in, I would immediately be shoved down. They had the top 35 slots, let's say. You might show up on page 4 2 hours after you came out. This was a major adjustment on the amount of exposure you would get if you came out with breaking news. So we were delegitimized. This was part of the soft censorship. They called it net neutrality. They wanted to be more fair. What basically doing was giving the mass media, the mainstream media, time to get their ducks in a row and find out how they're supposed to report a story. Find out, you know, back in those days, probably check with the Obama administration on how they were supposed to spin the story and then come out with the information. Where guys like myself and let's say Stephen Ben-Danoon and Lisa Haven and you know, we could just report on the story with our own conjecture. I didn't have to ask anybody. Here's where we go. And that was giving us the opportunity to be out there. Look, everybody has the same opportunity. I didn't have to wait on the White House to tell me what the talking points was. I just report the story and give you my opinion. And so with Trump reversing the net neutrality, this should allow us to be free again and make it more of a fair, competitive market on reporting. I just wonder if it will be. Well, we're going to give it a chance and see. Good news is President Trump is reversing the net neutrality mandate that the Obama administration put in 2015. The Trump-appointed head of the Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC, capped more than a decade of wrangling with plans to sweep away all the rules preventing U.S. broadband companies from favoring some types of internet traffic over others. All right? So they're gonna wipe it away and make it more competitive for everybody on the internet. That's including the big internet providers. AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, what have you, will be now positioning and making available fast online broadband for everyone. And of course, the price will probably go up a little bit because they'll be selling it off to a higher price. But that's fair in a free market. Let's just hope that besides the big companies getting the opportunity to have less restrictions, that the restrictions and the net neutrality of censorship gets removed as well. Let's pray it does. And we'll know. We'll know probably within 6 months after this vote comes up in December, because it took about 6 months for the Obama administration, after he made it net neutrality. It was about 6 months before I started to see it happen. It was quite obvious what was going on. The left-wing leaning liberal media always got the top spots, and the conservative, and especially the bloggers and the vloggers and the YouTubers got pushed way down, okay? And that's just what they did. It didn't matter how fast you were out there. It didn't matter how people liked what you had going. Man, when the other guys finally got their act together and put theirs out, you got shoved to the bottom. And that's just how they did it. They called it net neutrality. But let's wait and see how this plays out. Very interesting. Anyway, I'm very happy that President Trump is in the process of reversing the curse. Reverse the curse of net neutrality. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're certainly living in the last days, and anything is possible. Are you serious?